My brother's daughter, Luna, is very, very sick. She has cancer. They say that she's not going to make it much longer without the experimental procedure that insurance doesn't want to cover. So my brother, somebody I have not talked to in a while because of his gambling addiction, he comes up to me and says that he needs the inheritance that I got from Dad to pay for his daughter's treatment. It's about $200,000. I look him in the eyes and I say, no, I'm not giving you a dime and I don't care what happens. I'm going to spend that money on a food truck. It's a business I've wanted to start for a long time, and everybody in my family's calling me heartless, cruel, and I don't care. I'm getting my food truck. Sorry, this is going to be long and probably makes no sense because I haven't slept in 72 hours. I keep forgetting to eat, and my neighbor Margaret keeps sliding religious pamphlets under my door about redemption. And the only thing in my fridge is half-eaten containers of potato salad from the funeral that I can't throw away because my dad made it. He didn't make this one, obviously, because he's gone, but he made a potato salad the same way, and I just can't throw it. Ugh, okay. Father died 8 months ago, March the 15th, 3:47 p.m., and I know the exact time because I was in a meeting about quarterly projections when I get the call. Daryl's foreman, this guy everyone calls Tammy, even though his name's James. Long story involving a bet and a dress, but whatever. He called me, said that there's been an accident and said it was bad, said I need to come now. The thing about construction sites is they're supposed to have all these safety protocols. Harnesses, regular equipment inspections, proper scaffolding. The thing about my brother is he's been a gambling addict since he was 19. And learned he could make a week's paycheck disappear in 10 minutes at the casino boat. Dad fell 40 feet because of a harness clip malfunction. A clip that should have been replaced 6 months ago, according to regulations. It was a clip that would have cost $240 to replace. A clip that was not replaced because Daryl needed that $240. For what was it that week? Poker? Blackjack? Some sure thing sports bet that his buddy Jeff promised he couldn't lose. And then he lost it. I have text messages, screenshots I took before he thought to delete them. Him bragging to his side piece about how he's too smart for OSHA, and safety equipment is a scam for the sheep. How he would rather spend that money on her, take her somewhere nice, buy her those earrings that she always wanted, and meanwhile Father's wearing a harness held together with prayers and a duct tape. The life insurance paid out last month. $340,000 because Dad was paranoid about leaving us something. Used to joke that his life was worth more dead than alive. Guess he was right. I put down a deposit on the food truck the day after the check cleared. $50,000 non-refundable, signed contracts, the works. It's a 2018 Freightliner with low miles and a kitchen that's already up to code. Dad had this notebook, see? Recipes he's been collecting since before I was born. Daryl Dogs, he wanted to call it. After my brother, because despite everything, he loved that piece of crap. Had drawings of the logo and everything. It was a hot dog with fancy toppings. Kimchi and, other stuff. Mac and cheese and bacon. Elote styles with cotija cheese and lime. We were going to do it together when he retired. He had 3 more years. 3 more years of climbing scaffolds and breathing in concrete dust and breaking his back for overtime pay. 3 years before we could start something that was ours. Daryl knew about the notebook, knew about the dream, used to mock us for it, said food trucks were hipsters and failures, said we'd lose everything in 6 months, and said Dad should focus on real work instead of playing chef. Then Luna got sick. Started with bruises that don't heal, then nosebleeds that won't stop, then that phone call from the oncologist with words like acute lymphoblastic and aggressive, immediate treatment necessary. Suddenly Daryl's at my door with his daughter, passing on in his sob story and his handout, $200,000, he says. That's what they need after insurance. That's what stands between Luna and a chance at 7 years old. Here's the thing nobody wants to admit. You can love a kid and hate their parents at the same time. You can look at this tiny human who did nothing wrong to you, who just wants to watch Bluey and eat chicken nuggets and not feel sick all the time, and simultaneously want to slam their father's head through a wall. Luna asked me why I was crying. I wasn't even aware that I was. She said, Auntie Jeff, are you sad too? She calls me Jeff instead of Steph because she could not say it when she was little and it stuck. She said Daddy told her I might be able to help her feel better, that I had a special amount of money from Pop Pop that could make the hurt stop. Daryl just stood there holding her hand and did not even utter a word, didn't have to. He knew what he was doing, bringing her, knew I would look at her pale face and bald head and think about all the time she sat on my couch watching cartoons while he was at the casino. Knew I would remember teaching her to tie her little shoes, clearly didn't stick. He knew I'd crack. Almost worked, too. Then I saw it just a flash on his phone screen. When he pulled it back to check the time, it was a notification from her. From the side piece, the one he was going about, instead of focusing on all the safety equipment while Dad was climbing death traps. The preview said, can't wait to tell you the news, baby. The news? The news? I knew before I even asked. I saw it in the way that he shoved his phone back in his pocket too fast, the way he would not meet my eyes. She's pregnant. The side piece is pregnant with his second kid, while his first kid is clinging to life, and he's begging me for money he would not have needed if he had just done his job and kept my dad safe. I said no. And Luna's face crumpled, and Daryl called me selfish, and I just stood there in my doorway watching my niece cry, listening to my brother tell me I've chosen a stupid truck over a family member. That Dad would be ashamed that I'm letting a child pass on for petty revenge. Petty. He called it petty. Like he did not steal my medication for years, like I didn't have a seizure at school and crack my head on a desk because he sold my pills the night before. Like he didn't tell our parents I was hiding them, getting me grounded for being difficult about my health. Like he didn't watch me get loaded into an ambulance, knowing exactly why my brain was short-circuiting. Like he didn't hurt our father for a few $1,000s he blew on a gambling game, and a woman who wasn't even his wife. The family group chat exploded within hours. 67 or so messages before I left the group. My mother leading the charge, how dare you? That money was meant for family. Your father would be disgusted. Luna is innocent. You're hurting your own niece. My aunt even created a GoFundMe. Posted pictures of Luna in the hospital. Shared it to every Facebook group in a 50-mile radius. Help sweet Luna fight leukemia while her aunt hoards blood money. That's actually what it read. Blood money, like I'm the one with blood on my hands. 437 people have shared it, strangers calling me a monster in the comments, and people I went to high school with messaging me. Hey, saw the thing about your niece, that's really messed up, what you're doing. My old co-workers, my dentist even, the guy who delivers my mail. Everybody has an opinion about how I should spend my father's money. Daryl's wife doesn't know about the pregnancy, doesn't know her husband was messing around with someone else while their daughter was getting chemo, while she was sleeping in the hospital chair and learning to flush PICC lines, and watching their baby girl throw up every time she tried to eat. The side piece messaged me yesterday. Can you believe it? Found me on Instagram before I deleted it. She said, hey, I know this is awkward, but Daryl said you might be able to help us. I'm pregnant and he's obviously going through a lot with Luna, and money is tight. I know you get a big settlement from your father. Sorry for your loss, by the way. And family always helps family, right? Family helps family. I threw up in my mouth a little, like actually ran to the bathroom and let it all out. But it was nothing but bile and rage. This woman who was messaging my brother while my dad was using faulty equipment wants me to fund her baby with the money I got because my father is gone because of her. The therapist says I'm redirecting my grief into material attachments, but in using the food truck as a proxy for my relationship with my dad. She says I need to process the complexity of the situation and consider what my father would truly want. I know what he would want. He would want me to help Luna. He would want me to be the big person, and he would want me to forgive Daryl because that's what family does. And blood is blood. And all that crap he used to say when Daryl would steal from us and he would make excuses. But he also wants to be alive. He wanted to meet his grandbabies, and he wanted to teach Luna to ride a bike. He wants to walk me down the aisle if I ever get married, and he wanted to open that food truck with me and serve kimchi dogs to drunk college kids, and finally do something that made us happy. He'd want his harness to not fail because his son prioritized a girl over safety. The food truck guy is threatening to sue if I back out. Says the contract is what he calls ironclad. Says he already ordered custom equipment based on my specifications, and says he'll take me for everything I have and walk away. Part of me wants him to. Wants to lose it all in court just so I can say that I don't have to make this choice. The church my mom goes to held a special prayer circle for me. Not for Luna, who actually needs the prayer. For my hardened heart and lost soul. Margaret from next door was there and told everybody about how she's been ministering me, sliding those pamphlets under my door. Even Judas could have been forgiven, one of them says. Judas? They're comparing me to the guy who betrayed Jesus for silver. Luna's teacher called me yesterday, said Luna's been asking about me, wants to know if I'm still mad at her, if she did something wrong, and if that's why Auntie Jeff won't help her feel better. The teacher suggested maybe I could do a payment plan. Maybe just help a little, maybe think about how I'll feel if something happens. If? You mean when? Let's be real. Even with treatment, the statistics for her type of leukemia are not good. And without full treatment, without the experimental therapy that insurance doesn't cover, without the specialties at Children's Hospital all the way in Boston, I already know how I'll feel. I'll feel like I did this to a 6-year-old because I could not let go of my anger at her father. I feel like I chose a truck over a life. I feel like the monster everyone already thinks that I am. But I also feel like Daryl's the one that did this to our dad. Like he chose his addiction over dad's safety. Like, come on. He played Russian roulette with other people's lives and dad lost. Like that $240 harness clip was worth more than 40 years of fatherhood. I found Dad's body at the site. I was the one that found it. Did I mention that? They didn't want me to see, but I pushed past Tammy and the other guys, and he was just, his body was bent in ways they should not bend. Hard hat cracked like an egg. Well, man, that image is still in my head. He still had his lunch in his jacket pocket. It was a peanut butter and honey sandwich. The same thing he's eaten every day since 1987. He loves honey. I kept the sandwich wrapper. It's in my kitchen drawer next to the notebook with the recipes. Sometimes I take it out and smell it and pretend he's just in the other room, just on break, just about to come back and tell me about his day. The disposal finally stopped making that sound. Gave up, I guess, like everything else in this apartment. The AC that only works when it wants to. The fridge light that flickers like a horror movie. The bathroom fan that screams when you turn it on. All broken things barely holding together, just like me. My dad used to fix things. That was his gift. Didn't matter what was broken, he could figure it out. Spent weekends helping neighbors with leaky pipes and squeaky doors, and never charged a dime. He said, we take care of each other. That's what makes us a human. I wonder if he'd fix it first and he could see me now. His daughter sitting on the kitchen floor at 4:18 p.m., choosing vengeance over a child's life, choosing a dream over a chance, and choosing anger over everything else. The food truck has a name now. I had decals made up and everything. It's Danny's dog. It's not named after Daryl, if you can tell. It's named after Dad. Daniel Eugene Morrison, 1967 through 2024, fell 40 feet because safety equipment is expensive and his son had bills to pay at a casino, and obviously a motel room. I kept thinking about Luna at my door, how small she looked, how her unicorn sneakers were untied, how she said, Auntie Jeff, are you sad too? Like she already knew the answer, like she could see right through me. The place where love should be, but's not there. The place where forgiveness should live, but doesn't. I could still back out, lose the 50 grand, but save the rest. Help Luna be the hero, let Daryl off the hook again like always, and pretend the texts don't exist. Pretend the side piece is not pregnant. Pretend Dad fell because of fate, or God, or whatever else excuse people make. Instead of the greed and negligence of a fundamental lack of giving a crap about anyone but himself. I'm livid. I could do it. But I won't. That makes me the villain of this story, I know. The aunt who let a kid pass on for pride. The daughter who dishonored her father's memory, and the sister who chose revenge over blood. Fine, I'll be the villain. At least villains get to sleep at night knowing they made a choice instead of letting everyone else choose for them. The sun's coming up now. I've been writing this for the last 8 hours. I can see it through the broken blinds I keep meaning to fix. Another day of being the worst person in my family's world. Another day of Luna not getting treatment. Another day of Dad being, gone because safety comes third. Gambling first, and obviously family must be somewhere mixed in there. Let them see what $240 worth of prevention could have bought. Yeah, the disposal is starting that sound again. Guess it wasn't done struggling after all. Nothing ever really is it? Just breaks and keeps breaking, and we pretend it fixed until we can't pretend anymore. And, I still love Luna. Need that on record somewhere. I still love her. I just love my anger a lot more. That's what makes me the a-hole of the story, and you know what? Good. Guys, today's story was pretty heartbreaking. The comment section was exploding. I don't even want to read any of the comments because it was nothing but arguments. There was a lot of people who thought, you know what, this is OP's decision. If she wants to go and open a food truck because it helps her with her father's passing, then she's able to do whatever she wants. That's her money at the end of the day. But there was an equal amount of people saying no. There's some things in life that you just have to do, and one of them is saving your, family member if you have the opportunity, because you're the only one that can help with the cancer treatment. Insurance isn't going to cover it, and nobody else has the $200,000. So if you don't do it, you're the a-hole. But it's much deeper than a story. You're the a-hole forever in the eyes of your family. So guys, my question is, if you were in OP's position, would you buy the food truck, or would you try to help even though you know it might not work? Let me know in the comments section. This story was a rough one. There's been no updates posted on it, but the second an update comes out, you guys will be the first to know about it. I hope you enjoyed, and if you want more stories, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And, of course, remember, it's cool to be kind. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.